Hi there, in this module we're going to introduce a visual management method known as the Obeya. Specifically, by the end of this module, you'll know what an Obeya is, including its origins. You'll also know the primary benefits and reasons for adopting Obeya methods. We'll then explore what actually happens during an Obeya meeting, and finally, by the end of this module, we'll explore some shared principles that make Obeya successful. Let's get started. Define, the Obeya is a method of communication, cross-functional cooperation, and decision-making that specifies the space, time, and visual organization of information. Obeya is a Japanese word for big room, meaning an open office working space with no interior walls. The Obeya is a large room set up with a specific purpose. Typically, it's to share information about a project or the overall business operation in a way that enables rapid decision-making and collaboration. Now, simply putting charts on one or two walls or having a team board is not the same as an Obeya. The Obeya method is much more than a room with visual information on the walls. It's a set of principles, processes, and routines. The Obeya method comes to us from lean product development. Researchers noticed in the 1990s that Toyota was able to design and launch new automobiles in about half of the time of their competitors at a lower cost and with fewer problems after launch. Part of Toyota's approach involved the product development team meeting frequently in a big room with all relevant information displayed on the wall. In practice, an Obeya is similar to a mission control center. Today, Obeya is widely used for lean project management, lean product development, and for running an overall business operation. The purpose of meeting together in a big room with information on the walls is to enable the people involved in the project to speed up their communication and decision-making, reduce silo thinking, and to build trust, cooperation, and team spirit. This can be especially challenging in large, complex knowledge work such as strategy execution, product development, or general management of a business. In knowledge work, creativity, idea generation, and discussions are essential. The Obeya is a structured space and occasion to enable this. The Obeya method shares many things in common with other lean management practices and routines. For example, daily accountability meetings, shift startup team meetings, and daily huddle meetings all involve visualization, people communicating performance status, identifying issues, solving problems, and priority alignment. These daily management processes often link up to business-level Obeya. Also, these daily meetings are most often at the local level, while Obeya are at a cross-functional or enterprise level. The exact agenda and routine will be different for each Obeya meeting, depending on its scope and purpose. If an Obeya has been laid out properly, a meeting leader should be able to walk the group around the room, compare the current situation to the target, and raise the issues that require discussion and decision. A general flow to Obeya meetings proceeds as follows. 1. Check the current situation, target versus actual. 2. Identify any gaps, including red status metrics or problems. 3. Review the A3 problem analysis or issues breakdowns. 4. Present decision-ready issues and recommended actions. 5. Commit to actions to address top priorities from the issues board or A3. 6. Record decisions, knowledge capture, or lessons learned. 7. Thanks, closing, and continue cross-functional exchange as needed. Well, now that we've discussed what an Obeya meeting is, let's now turn our attention to its benefits, of which there are several. 1. Reduces unnecessary or repeated discussion. 2. Reduces information defects between functions. 3. Exposes assumptions and things we think we know. 4. Enables teams to arrive at consensus faster. 5. Creates an environment to develop leaders. Now, with all this said, it may seem like adding yet another meeting to our busy schedules isn't the smartest idea. However, one of the benefits of the Obeya process is that it reduces unnecessary discussion. Repeated discussion about issues without decision can be a source of frustration as well as a waste of time and brain power. In an Obeya, everyone has access to the same information at the same time. Decisions are made and actions are followed up at the next meeting. In other words, things get done. Next, there's a popular lean saying, don't make, accept, or pass on defects. And this is most definitely true for information. Obeya enables us to build quality into cross-functional knowledge work. When all of the information is in one place and is reviewed regularly as a team, there's less rework due to misunderstanding, misalignment, or non-communication across the project or across functions in day-to-day operations. As the old adage goes, it's not what you don't know that gets you into trouble, it's what you know that just isn't so. The Obeya method of visual management allows us to not only make our information or what we think we know visible, but also our assumptions, which can often contain errors. The Obeya process helps teams to arrive at consensus, alignment, and shared vision based on being in the same room with the same information. The process improves cross-functional and cross-departmental coordination. Another key benefit is that the Obeya process develops leadership, allowing younger leaders to listen to the experience of other leaders in the room and to learn how to solve problems. The Obeya method works best when it can bring people together to share information cross-functionally, speed up communication, and prevent information from falling through the gaps between functional boundaries. However, this doesn't mean that the Obeya can only be used at the highest levels of an organization. In addition to business strategy, operations management, and new product development, Obeya can also be used for many other things, including managing cross-functional improvement efforts, implementing new software systems, or for planning a big event. In this day and age, when so much of the work we do and information we process is digital, one might ask, why is it necessary to have a specific time, place, and approach to meet and share information? In fact, the more information goes digital, the more important it becomes to bring people together to build relationships and trust, to learn from each other, and to engage our minds fully in exchanging valuable information. A typical face-to-face Obeya meeting may last about 1 hour, which is less than 2% of a 40-hour work week. This 2% can make the remaining 98% much more productive by removing misunderstanding, organizational barriers, and frustration created by unaddressed issues. It's important to remember that simply having a meeting in a big room with data displayed on the walls is not the same thing as practicing the Obeya method. As a management method, the Obeya requires shared values and principles, including focusing on the vital few priorities, keeping commitments to customers, setting clear targets, meeting based on well-defined routines, agendas, and activities, making problems visible, going to see to get the facts, making decisions based on facts and reasoning, addressing root causes of problems, taking corrective action, learning from mistakes, and capturing lessons learned. These requirements may seem like a high bar, but don't worry. No company is perfect. Practicing the Obeya process and experiencing its benefits will help reinforce belief in these principles. As a first step, it can be useful to make these guiding principles visible at the start of your Obeya process. Okay, that wraps up this Obeya overview module. In our next lesson, we'll see a specific example of an Obeya process for a product development team, the typical layout of such a room, the type of information presented, and how the meeting progresses. So, we'll speak to you soon.